Oops.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rockin'. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knockin'. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way, singing Gucci gang. Gucci gang, think I'm Gucci Mane. I'm just playing in the cut, I got my Vans on. I'm not selfish, I get on and put my mans on. Always greedy since the day I got my first safe. 5'7", but I'm 6'8" when I stand on the money pal.
Hi besties, good morning. I feel like I don't really start the video until I actually talk to you guys, so now this video has officially started. I'm actually waiting on Nick because we're about to go walk to get, wait for it, drum roll please, an RMR test, which is a resting metabolic rate test, which is going to tell us what your body, how many calories your body needs to operate and to function. And then from there, you have to account for your NEAT, how much physical activity you're doing on a day-to-day. But I am pumped. And actually, I should probably insert it here. 2 weeks ago, we went and got body fat scanners. The first time I actually went by myself, and then Nick went, I think a couple of days after me. And I was shocked by the result. I didn't even believe it, which just shows you that body dysmorphia is so real. But anyways, let's play the clip. Probably look horrific right now, but it's fine. I just want to record my authentic reaction because I randomly went and got a body fat percentage scanner just because you guys know I'm really big on body fat percentage versus the scale, because the scale doesn't account for how much your body, your organs weigh, and it doesn't account for your body fat or your muscle mass. Just because 150 pounds of someone with like 25% body fat or 30% body fat or 40% body fat all looks very different. For my results, guys, I'm so shocked. Like, I don't believe what this man told me. I'm just gonna be walking you guys through my results, and I really don't believe it. Part of me is looking at this and I'm like, is this right? I came in at 24.1 years old, which is funny, like 0.1, y'all petty. My body fat is 18.8. which I don't know why that's so hard for me to believe. But then when it comes to the fat distribution, this is where it gets really crazy. He told me that my abs have 9.7% fat, which is, he said, super, super low. And I just want to say, like, I don't know why it's so hard for me to believe that. Like, I feel like I carry all of my weight in my stomach. So for him to say, like, my core is off the charts and I literally have no fat in my stomach, I'm looking at him like, are we looking at the same stomach scan? Or my hips, I have a little bit more fat, but that's normally normal for women because we just carry more fat in our hips due to genetics and carrying babies. It's just kind of how our bodies are made. The dark orange shows you what's lean mass and the yellow shows you what's fat. We have the fat that you can see, and then there's visceral fat, which is underneath your, you know, the fat you really can't see. I have 0 pounds of visceral fat. Like, I'm just, and get me, because I am so happy about this. This kind of just shows me how much I lie to myself. Like, to be very honest, because I am always comparing myself. I'm comparing myself to like some of the best in my industry. And I don't want to get emotional talking about this, but I'm just trying to be like really real that I need to stop comparing myself. I need to stop looking at other girls, their body types, what they have, because like, I wish I would have recorded this guy's like natural reaction, but he was like, you are in great shape. He's like, you don't really have any fat. He's like, you're literally off the charts, like 18% body fat is like very low, like 0% visceral fat, just like all of these stats. And it was like, every time he would say one, I was like, nah, like literally every time he would say something like, this is great, like, do you see this? In my head, I was like, that's not true. Like, there's no way, like, this can't be me. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just having a moment right now of what I believe and what the truth is. And we so often believe lies about ourselves that are not true. And it kind of makes me sad just thinking about how much I literally tear myself apart comparing myself to other people in my industry, when it's like, it's okay if I don't have the body type of another girl. And I think that's where I get so caught up, because I see so many girls, so many models, so many girls in the fitness industry who are just so small and petite, or who start off like on a weight gain journey and say they're like really tiny and they're trying to they're really tiny and they're trying to put on muscle, where my journey was the opposite. And I literally went on a 65-pound weight loss journey. So sometimes I feel like I still always see myself as that other girl, like the Alaias when I was younger. And I don't know, I'm literally so shook right now. That clip was about 2 weeks ago. So now what we're gonna do is go back to that same guy. He's a nutritionist. So I'm gonna bring my body fat scanner and results that I just went over with. I don't know, this is the stuff me and Nick get excited about. We literally talked about our composition body fat scanner for hours after. And I'm like, are we weird? Probably. Okay, so I just realized I've been drinking this. He told us we're not supposed to eat or drink anything 4 hours before this RMR test. Oopsie.
The mechanics are, this is the mouthpiece. You're going to place your lips over the mouth attachment and keep your lips sealed over for the duration of the test. In here is the nose attachment. You're going to reach in here, grab this, open it like that. That goes over your nostrils anywhere you're comfortable, so it doesn't allow any oxygen through your nose. The breathing part is really important to get the most accurate results. And by breathing, I mean try and make every breath you take a meditative or yoga type breath. Nice, full, deep, rhythmic breathing.
So this number is the minimum.
This is what you burn every day at complete rest. That's why resting metabolic rate. Okay. And it's basically the amount of calories your body burns to function normally. Doesn't include a single calorie of exercise or daily activity like coming here today. But it's important because you shouldn't be eating below it.
Okay.
Because if you eat below what your body needs to function normally, then your body starts to sense that you're starving it. And that's when it becomes extremely hard to add muscle mass. You're just not getting enough calories in. So obviously you want to be in a deficit from your daily total burn, which is resting metabolic rate plus exercise plus daily activity. You want to be in a deficit from that total number. What we don't want to be is in a deficit from that resting metabolic rate. We know that your resting metabolic rate is what you burn at complete rest every day. We know it's approximately 75% of what you burn, and we know that you really don't want to eat below it, because if you do, your body's not getting enough calories to build muscle mass. And if you eat a lot below it, then your body tends to want to hold on to your fat because it thinks you're starving it, and it wants to save the fat for future energy needs. So there's a lot of not so great things when it comes to body composition that happens when we cut our calories too low. Obviously, we want to be in a calorie deficit, but not in a deficit from your resting metabolic rate. We want to be in a deficit from your total daily burn, which is resting metabolic rate plus exercise plus daily activity for your total daily burn. Your resting metabolic rate came in at 2,058 calories. Now, your goal, as we kind of basically talked about a little bit last time, was you want to add some muscle mass while trying to eliminate any fat gain whatsoever. So based on your specific goal, the absolute minimum you should be eating per day is 2,200 calories, and you can probably go up to 2,500 pretty safely. Now, here, it gives you your estimated total daily burn. And I say estimated because we're not actually measuring your exercise and daily activity. The algorithm is calculating it based on your resting metabolic rate test and your estimated exercise level. Both of you, obviously, because of the shape you're in, exercise more than the average person. So this number this total daily burn for both of you is going to be a little bit on the low end, right? So your total daily burn here comes in at 2881. I would say this is more realistically somewhere between 3,000 to maybe 3,250. So if you eat at 2,500 calories and you're burning a total of 3,250 a day, you're in a 750 calorie deficit. So you're in a good deficit, which should negate any possibility of fat gain, but not so much of a deficit that makes it hard to build that muscle mass that we talked about for you. So I would say that anywhere between 22, I would say probably closer to 2,500, and make sure that when you weighed yourself last time here, you were 172 pounds. Honestly, for you who wants to gain muscle mass because you're so active, I would say a minimum of 180 grams of protein a day. You could probably go up to 200 grams pretty easily. Your body's not going to waste it because you're so active. Just make sure that you spread it evenly out throughout the day because your body can only absorb so much at one time in terms of protein. Otherwise, it'll go out in your waste. Typically speaking, for most people, it's anywhere between 40 to 50 grams at one time. And in your case, your resting metabolic rate actually really high, 1823.
Wow.
So it's almost close to his.
Wow.
You know, and your total daily estimate again is 2370. I would say because you're so active, this is going to be somewhere between 25 to maybe 2650 is going to be your total daily burn.
So why do you think the 1800 is so high?
As with everything else, genetics play a part in everything. Gotcha. So probably genetically, you're also on the higher end of metabolism, also because you're so active. Wow. You're constantly moving, constantly burning, so it keeps your metabolism high.
What did you think of the results?
I thought they were good. It's good to have confirmation that the calories we're eating at are at the right level.
Oh, I'm starting.
Oh, do you want me to start it?
I guess
my channel. Hey guys.
You're gonna have a channel one day. I'm manifesting it.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be like a podcast channel. Hi guys. So yesterday you saw us go and take the RMR test, and you might be thinking like, what the heck did you guys just do? Why did you do that? So we're here now to explain it. An RMR test in its simplest form is helping us when it comes to our metabolism. In a couple of videos, you guys are gonna watch me break down all of the understandings of metabolism, the science behind it. But in short, your metabolism is, he was saying, because we work out so much based on our body fat scan.
Okay, wait, so those
We were burning every single day and kind of took it. I could pull out the whiteboard and we could really go into it, but it's like...
That would be legit. Yeah. Do you have one?
Yeah, that's what I did. Do you want to?
Yeah, kinda.
What we're gonna do, because I'm scared I'm confusing you guys, we're gonna write out metabolism on the whiteboard so that you guys can understand what we're saying, and then we'll get into it a little bit more details. Even though understanding your metabolism can be a little complex, but it's not. When you first hear it, it sounds like what the heck, but then over time you get it. I wish you guys could see this camera setup right now. We are risking our lives. I want to take a video of it. Anyway, okay. First, let's understand metabolism. As we were just talking about, metabolism is how much energy you're burning in a given day, which can equate to your total daily energy expenditure, or for short, TDEE. Don't roast my handwriting. I know it's not perfect. This is going to equal your PA, which is your physical activity. TEF, which is your thermic effect of food. Our NEAT, N-E-A-T. This is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. How much you burn from doing the dishes, laundry, fidgeting, all of those small movements. And then you have your BMR, basal metabolic rate. This can be very similar to your resting metabolic rate. Your resting metabolic rate is really just your NEAT and your BMR added together. When we say we took the RMR test, just think of it very similar to a BMR test. We're just testing how much our body burns from living, from circulating the blood in your body to pumping the arteries and the blood, like all of that stuff that your body's doing, which equates for most of your total daily energy expenditure.
Your BMR plus your NEAT equals RMR, right?
Yeah, that is true. Notice how I'm using the pink marker and he's using the black one? I hope this makes sense too. If it doesn't, just let me know. We'll re-explain it. I am re-explaining this in another video too. Oh, Nick, you don't know how to spell my name? Okay, I was buying flights for us the other day and I was like, Fitz.
Right. So the results we got back from our RMR test were, for me, I had an RMR of 2,050 calories. That means just in my daily activities and what my body needs just to stay alive, I should never eat below this number. Now with my estimated activity level, we can safely add another 950 calories based on the average amount of calories that I'll burn in my workouts and other things throughout the day. So that gives me a total maintenance calorie limit of 3,000 calories. If I'm trying to lose fat or lose weight, I need to make sure that I'm eating below 3,000 calories because that's my maintenance limit on any given day. For me to be in a safe deficit, I'm probably going to start with around a 500 calorie deficit. So I'm going to take my maintenance calories of 3,000 and I'm going to subtract 500 calories. That leaves me with my daily calorie limit of 2,500 calories per day. This is the golden number for me to start with. And once I do this for 3-4 weeks or even a couple months, I can assess my results and see, do I need to drop this deficit a little bit lower? Or do I have room to increase it a little bit? Did my activity change? Am I starting to do more activities? Am I adding more runs into my routine? Mm-hmm. And I can play with this number, but this will give me a base to jump off of for my daily calorie limit. If my goal was to put on size, for example, the only thing I would do is I would take this minus 500 calories, I would change this to a plus, and then I would probably move this guy closer to 3,500 calories. That's the importance of knowing this number, because if you're just guessing or if you're just taking kind of a rough estimate based on a calculator online, you can see that if this number is off, it's going to affect every other number that you're factoring in.
Can I tell them your body fat percentage?
Yeah.
Or do you want to tell them?
Yeah, go ahead.
He has a body fat percentage of 9%. And so making this 500 calorie like add or subtract, you can use 500, but you can also use, like 250 if, depending on what your goals are.
I'm a huge fan of weighing what I eat and kind of measuring that. And, baseline, I'm standing out of the frame. Let's start over.
Yeah.
Standing outside.
No, when you're trying.
Who's saying that? Alaias brought up a good point, because all of these numbers assume that you know what you're eating in a day. So as you're starting out, or if you're starting out, or if you've been doing it for a while and just kind of want a reset of sorts, it could be beneficial to weigh out what you're eating or use a tool like MyFitnessPal or something similar, just so that you'll know how many calories you're eating in a day, and then you can plug it into all these numbers to see what kind of adjustments you need to make. Because, I would argue that if you're just eyeballing it, you may be way lower than what you think you're doing, or you might be way over what you think you're doing. So everything has calories in it, or most things have calories in them. So, that's your sauces, that's little drinks, little sips here and there, little snack foods, that stuff adds up.
RMR is 2050. We were eating under what our body needed to function. And we just need to emphasize that this is a minimum. Like, you should not go below this, because you're also not equating for the NEAT, your physical activity, you're fidgeting, you're working, like all of those things you burn calories doing. So this really should be the baseline, and then you adjust from there. While he's writing this out, if you're a beginner, I recommend a 10% shift from your maintenance. So if you are trying to be in a deficit, take 10% off of your maintenance so that you are not. The reason I say 10% is because you don't want to make such drastic changes that are not sustainable. And we are all about making sure that if you are going on a fat loss journey or a weight gain journey, that everything is maintainable for the long run. So first start off at 10% and then maybe gradually continue to decrease that. But if you're also increasing your physical activity, you may not also need to go into such a large deficit, depending on, of course, your goals. So for mine, we have the RMR at 1800. I like the pointer. And then 700 adds my physical activity on a day-to-day basis on average. So if you equal that together, we have 2,500, and then say I would be in a surplus or deficit, taking 10% of that has me at plus or minus 250 for a total of 2,250 calories every single day. Yesterday, we went to Composition ID in Orlando and we worked with Rafi. He's a nutritionist, very, very knowledgeable.
I mean, he told us exactly how it tied into our fitness goals and what he recommended. And then, you know, a week before that, we went back, or we were at Composition ID again just to get our DEXA scan, which gave us our body fat percentages and told us where we hold most of our fat. And so having the two together, the RMR test and the DEXA scan, really helped.
I personally think a body fat scanner is the most accurate way. Using a scale, in my opinion, can be a little deceiving because it doesn't equate for your body fat percentage or how much muscle you're holding. So one person who weighs 150 pounds of, 20% fat versus another person who weighs 150 pounds of 10% fat look very, very different. And the only way to tell that is from a body fat scanner. So Nick found him just online, a quick Google search, and we highly recommend him if you're in the Orlando area. But if you're not, you can also look up nutritionists or DEXA scans in your area. And I also know Crunch Fitness across the United States has a lot of body fat scanners as well.
You can probably go get a scan for a little over $100 or right at $100, and that doesn't even factor in any discounts that you might run into or that you may be able to get.
Remember not to be so hard on yourself and to use that as a stepping stone, because whether you've fallen off track or you're trying to get back on track or you're just like up and down and you're like, listen, I just need to change, you can always start from where you are. You can always make a change every single day by just waking up and deciding to live differently than the day before. So hopefully none of this is discouragement or even this as like comparison for us, because we're only sharing our results, our interpretation of it, and us doing this to help you guys, and so that you can see there are other ways of measuring your progress outside of a scale, and that there's just other ways to live and ways to live a healthy lifestyle that's not strenuous and taxing and feeling like it's just the hardest thing ever. Because I know so many people are like, how do I live a healthy lifestyle? Like, how do I make this easy? And it is possible. It is doable. We are just literally normal people who are just trying to live a healthy lifestyle. So if we can do it, you can do it.
It shouldn't be something that's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be stuff that you like. It should be fun. Cardio doesn't have to be torturous.
Right.
We're
about to go do 15 miles right now. So a couple weeks ago, I found this girl on TikTok and she just does super long walks in New York because she lives in New York City. And so it was one day where Nick was working a lot. So I was like, I might as well just switch up my workout today. And I walked 12 miles. And so now I want to show Nick the fun of walking, but I want to do it for 15 miles because, each time we just got to go better and better.
Yeah. So all of your workouts shouldn't be torturous, but sometimes they will be.
I'm like, enjoy your workouts, 15 miles.
Right. So if I don't see y'all again, it has been great.
If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. And don't forget to subscribe, join the fam. We would love to have you here. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right.
Bye, besties. In there. Wrestling is tiring. That rainbow is so pretty.
Dang, it's getting
Thicker.
more vivid.
Right? Thicker.
It is.
Driving through